Good evening, Dr. Pasna.
Good
Our
evening.
audience would like to have your introduction about your organization, what you've done, your role in the organization. We'd love to hear about it.
Well, my organization's name is Human Touch Foundation. And in fact, I have two organizations. One is Human Touch Foundation for Women, that is only for women. And another one is Human Touch Foundation, that is for both the genders. And the reason that I became a social worker, full-time social worker, was because of my academic experience. I'm a historian by profession, and when I was pursuing a ground uh, report about social status of women in northern India, at that time I was very much surprised to see the reality, and that is how I, changed my career line and I became a social worker, a full-time social worker, and that is the one reason behind Human Touch Foundation. And Human Touch, as you can understand by the name, is a our touch, our real touch to the underprivileged people or whosoever needs our help. So we are working for the upliftment of the society, be it women or men, and gender equality is one of them, and health, hygiene, environment, self-employment, and awareness about your legal rights. These are the main issues. Apart from that, we are also in organic farming and for waste management and global warming and all. So these are few things. Apart from that, we are into research and awareness also. We write lots of research papers and we organize awareness programs. And sexual harassment at workplace of women is one of the core issue of our social work. So these are few things that we are doing for the last 15 years.
Yeah. That's absolutely amazing. And you have left so many people inspired with your initiative, and not just me. So, our audience would love to hear you answer some questions.
It is there, it is very much there, and despite all the awareness programs run by government and by private agencies, women still are there in many shackles, and they are facing lots of, what you can say, lots of hindrances in their growth, and they are still ruled by the male ideology of the society. It is very much there. It is a very uphill task for us to go there and you know spread our message. We have to be very tactful in educating women there without hurting the sentiments of male society there. Our NGO is very much focused in spreading awareness about menstrual hygiene and their sexual health also, because as you know that this female infanticide is very much prevalent in villages, and the marriageable age is very less in villages. So girls are at very much danger in these places. So through our social work, we organize many social awareness workshops with the help of doctors and psychiatrists. They sensitize girls about these kind of taboo topics, and we also distribute all kind of napkins, and nowadays the new things are coming in like menstrual cup and reusable pads and all. So we always indulge ourselves in these kind of things, and also we sensitize them about pregnancies, abortions, and what to do, what not to do, what is the right age of giving birth to a child, what is the right age of indulge in sexual relations for girls also. So it is very much there, and we have a team of doctors, we have a team of psychological experts with us, and we tackle these issues very delicately. now the whole focus is in personal hygiene and social distancing. So the whole scenario has changed. So earlier we used to tell people to go to the hospital or consult the gynae or something like that. Now we are not doing that. Now we are telling them to take advice telephonically, or if there is a little pain or like a small fever or something, they can use their own Ayurvedic nuskhas also. We are just trying to stop them at their home. And the main focus is right now on the personal hygiene, washing hands and keeping your house clean and all. So the whole perspective has changed. And about the other bigger diseases such like cancer or something, that is inevitable that you have to go to the hospital and something. But otherwise, we are persuading rural women also to safely deliver their child in their neighborhood small dispensaries, or their at home also, if they find some technical help there, like Anganwadi, Asha workers, they also give guidance for childbirth and child care also. So now that the COVID is there, everybody is bound to be at home and stay at home and make the society clear. So we have changed in that way. Definitely, these kind of awareness sessions will enlighten them about the choices of medicines they can take. But the dependency on the NGO or medical help will always be there, because every day a new medical invention is coming up. Every day a new medicine comes up, and we are there to guide them to use that medicine. Just like menstrual hygiene also, tampon and napkins, and now the menstrual cup has come up. So the dependency will always be there for the new inventions, to know about the new medicines and new techniques. So that will be there, but it will ease our pressure, so that we will be in a comfort zone, but the dependency will always be there. Urban areas, sexual harassment cases are coming up because women are empowered enough to make their complaint, and they are economically largely they are economically independent. That is how they can make a complaint. And in rural areas, the women folks are not very um, aware about their rights. They don't know where to go, and even if they know, they don't want to go, because they are not employed in a institution or in a government job. They are just working as a daily laborer, or going to cut the harvest time and all this kind of. So they have nobody to complain to. But the harassment is still there, and it is very on a very large scale, and we are there to help them. Sometimes what happens that a girl who becomes widow at a very early age, she is actually harassed by her in-laws or her neighborhood and something. She has no protection. Sometimes she gets pregnant, and again she is blamed for the pregnancy, for her misconduct and all, although everybody knows who are the culprits. So we usually make women economically independent, and that is how they can say no to their harassers. And I think financial independence is the first tool in the hand of a woman to become empowered.
Yes,
Okay, so
absolutely.
we are doing that, we are working towards that. Yes, definitely. We are doing that. If you go through our website or our Facebook page, Human Touch Foundation Facebook page, you will find that we have organized many, many sessions in villages, giving demonstration about using the menstrual hygiene cup and all. And very recently, we have been a part of one, Limca book record, I think
Yes.
that was. uh, on that day, throughout the world, all over the world, women organizations joined hands and they sensitized on that day. Waste management, and these napkins also create lots of waste also. So menstrual hygiene cups are new thing, and reusable menstrual pads are the new thing, and we are doing demonstrations on a very regular basis in the rural areas especially.
All right, Dr. Pasna, it was so great to hear about what you are doing as a body, or some of our major inquiries about your NGO were actually cleared, and our audience must have loved to hear about the initiative. And I can not stress on it enough. You have inspired so many of us out there. So it was great having you on board, Dr. Pasna, and I hope you have a
My
great
pleasure.
rest of the day.
My pleasure. Thank you. Thank you.